The pull-up, a simple movement, yet it remains a formidable barrier for many. We often attribute failure to a lack of strength, a convenient if incomplete explanation. The common assumption is that more effort, more brute force will eventually yield results. A logical conclusion perhaps, but one that frequently overlooks the underlying mechanics. What if the issue was not your strength, but how you were attempting to apply it? This video will explore how to become proficient at pull-ups without necessarily becoming stronger in the traditional sense. It is a subtle distinction, often missed, but profoundly impactful. The pull-up is primarily a back exercise, specifically targeting the latissimus dorsi. Yet many initiate the movement by pulling with their biceps, a common and inefficient strategy. This shifts the load away from the larger, more powerful back muscles. The first step is to understand scapular depression and retraction. Before you even bend your elbows, your shoulder blades should move down and back. This pretensions the lats, preparing them to do the majority of the work. Think of it as pulling your elbows towards your hips rather than pulling your chin over the bar. This subtle mental shift can dramatically alter muscle engagement. Another common error is neglecting the core. A stable core prevents energy leaks. Bracing your core as if preparing for a punch creates a rigid foundation. Without it, your body will swing, wasting precious energy that could be used for the pull. The grip itself is also frequently misunderstood. A false grip or thumbless grip can be beneficial. It minimizes forearm and bicep involvement, forcing the back to engage more effectively. Some find it uncomfortable initially, which is often a sign it is working the correct muscles. Consider the eccentric phase, the lowering portion of the movement. Control this descent. Do not simply drop. This builds strength and reinforces proper muscle activation. A slow, controlled negative can be more effective than a rushed, sloppy positive. Think of your body as a single rigid unit, no kipping, no flailing. Kipping allows momentum to compensate for a lack of control, not a lack of strength. It is a different exercise entirely, with different objectives. To truly master the pull-up, focus on the mind-muscle connection. Actively think about squeezing your lats, feeling them contract with each repetition. This conscious effort trains your nervous system to recruit the correct muscles. It is a skill, not just a feat of raw power, like learning to play an instrument. Progressive overload still applies, but it begins with perfecting the movement pattern. Start with assisted pull-ups, but apply these technical cues from the very first repetition. Resistance bands can be useful, but ensure they do not simply allow you to bypass proper form. The goal is to reduce assistance as your technique improves, not just as your strength increases. Another effective drill is the dead hang. Simply hang from the bar, engaging your shoulders. This builds grip strength and familiarizes your body with the starting position. Active hangs, where you initiate the scapular depression without bending your elbows, are also crucial. These small, isolated movements build the foundation for a complete, efficient pull-up. Remember, consistency in applying these techniques is paramount. A few perfect repetitions are more valuable than many sloppy ones. Your body is remarkably adaptable, but it requires precise instructions. The strength you thought you lacked was likely just misdirected effort. The journey to mastering the pull-up is less about brute force and more about intelligent application. You are not weak, you are simply using the wrong muscles in the wrong way. Apply these principles, practice with intent, and observe the transformation. The pull-up god status is not reserved for the genetically gifted. It is earned through understanding, patience, and precise execution. Your potential was always there, waiting for the correct instruction manual. Now you have it. Go and apply it.